Now I come to IQ, EQ, and AQ. Of course, there are many other things like SQ, PQ, and so many other things, CQ, but I'm going to concentrate on these three. Now, IQ basically stands for capability. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Now it's better, sir.
You are audible very well.
I don't know why my connections are fine. I don't know. Anyways, now, am I audible now?
Yes, it's better, sir.
Better means not very clear?
Yes, it's good. Very good. You can continue.
Okay. Now, EQ stands for emotional quotient. EQ basically, one can handle EQ with the feeling and thinking. When you combine both, and it becomes will, because you are thinking and you are feeling and you are combining the two. Then SQ is spiritual quotient, is purpose. AQ is adversity quotient, which is response to adversity. As the name suggests, AQ is something very, very important. See, I'm also a career coach and counselor, and I practice dermatoglyphics, multiple intelligence test, as well as MBTI based test. So out of these tests, I can see in different cases, in those cases where AQ is very good, the guys or the people are really very good leaders. As you see, currently we are in the midst of Corona or COVID-19, and how much difficult it has become for leaders to handle their people. People are working from home, providing all the facilities to them, devising new policies for the people, and so many other things. It is really hell for the leaders. Yet those guys who are very strong in adversity quotient, they handle everything with greatest ease. I'll give you an example here. I know a lady, she's also into HR. She has been working for various companies, all MNCs, and she has come across lots of similar situations that we are undergoing now. Yet because she is very high in adversity quotient, so you don't see a brow. I mean, there is no crease on her brow. Everything she handles so easily. So this is what I have seen, so that example I have given. Now you see, you know what is intelligence. Intelligence we can define as ability to learn, abstract reasoning, mental response, representation, decision making, problem solving, and use of applied knowledge for handling different situations. So that is intelligence. And IQ, on the other hand, intelligence quotient is calculated value of person's intelligence levels, and from there we get the IQ. I have given some IQ scores here. You can see this. 1 to 70 is mental disability. 71 to 84 is borderline mental disability. 85 to 114 average intelligence. 115 to 129 average, above average, bright. 130 to 144 moderately gifted. 145 to 159 highly gifted. 160 to 179 exceptionally gifted. 180 and up profoundly gifted. Above 149, 5 to 159 are not very readily available, but moderately gifted and highly gifted, that up to 159 are okay. The other two levels, 160 to 179 and 182 and up, is a little difficult to get. So This is what, the difference between intelligence and IQ. Now here, emotional intelligence and EQ. What is the difference? I'll just tell you what is the difference. Emotional intelligence is, if you define Goleman's, I will just read out to you how Dr. Goleman has defined EQ. Just give me a sec. It has to be very specific. I can't distort the definition, so I'm reading out. The capacity for recognizing our own feelings and those of others, for motivating ourselves, for managing emotions well in ourselves and in our relationship. This is the definition given by Dr. David Goleman. Now, emotions are basically, are impacted by all the basic emotions. Like, as you can see from here, there are 4 basic emotions, and permutation and combination of all these 4 basic emotions gives us so many other emotions. So you can see glad or joy, mad or anger, then scare or fear, and sadness are the 4 basic emotions. And if you combine all these, and then whatever comes out in different situations gives you different emotions. So we have to, once we, a person who is emotionally intelligent, he has to manage all these emotions, not only in himself, but in his people with whom he is interacting, or in societal cases. For example, the person is working in an organization, he comes across maybe 10 to 12 people every day. So he has to understand what kind of emotions the other people are going through, and handle those emotions, not only his emotions, but also manage their emotions. So such a person is emotionally intelligent person. Now, if you see emotional intelligence composition, emotional quotient composition is, there are 4 core skills are there. You can see in the 4 quadrants: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. Now these 2, self-awareness and self-management, pertain to personal competence, what I see and what I do. That is for the individual. And whereas in the social sphere, there are 2 more: social competence, what I see, it becomes social awareness, and social competence, what I do, becomes relationship management. Now, I don't want to elaborate because time doesn't permit that kind of detailing. So what I can say that in all there are 18 parameters, 18 factors which relate to emotional quotient. So having said as much, now we come to adversity quotient. Now AQ stands for adversity quotient of an individual who can manage the equilibrium of mental state in adverse situations of life, as well find the solutions of coming out of it. As I said, that example is very live in my mind. I was working with that lady, and I found her, grappling with all kinds of adverse circumstances, situations, and managing everything without a brow increase in her brow. So that kind of people rarely I come across, because once people come across adversity, they become a little, depressed, and they become a little, they question themselves, how will I handle this? and they show their, show their difficulty in handling that situation. So I've got a equation here below this. IQ plus EQ plus X is equal to success. And what is that? X is AQ. Because IQ and EQ are good factors or good intelligence in the person, but adversity quotient is the best, as you can see from here. AQ is the global predictor of success. Without AQ, the person is not going to be successful. You can take it from me. I've been working for a number of years and very large organizations. I've handled hundreds of people. I'll like to share one example with you. I was working in Bokaro Steel Plant. On one evening, the gas sampler, the person who collects the gas samples, was not there. So me and my Russian counterpart, we took the step and we went to the top of the blast furnace. Now, blast furnace gas is highly poisonous. 0.1% is enough to kill anybody. So we went without any mask. We didn't have any gloves because all those things were in the custody of the gas sampler. So all the same, the sample had to be taken. So I was the controlling officer of the furnace, and my counterpart, Mr. Mironov, was there with me. Mr. Mironov was very hefty. If I am 70 kgs, he was 200 kgs. So with him, I was always feeling very comfortable. So I said, okay, let's go. So when we went there and opened the sampler, it is motor driven, it came out. Sorry, it went inside and sample we could collect. And once the sample was taken, then we had to put the, push the sampler back, and it wouldn't come out. And some gas always comes out from the side. So some gas was coming out, oozing out. So we tried to, push it back by switching on and off the buttons, but it won't move. So then there was no option because there was no time to go downstairs, and it is about 500 feet high, and lift is not always available. So there was no time. So what we decided that we will catch hold of the rod, and by that time the rod had gone inside. It was very hot. So we didn't have the gloves also. So we had no option but to use our own hands. So we took the hands and pulled back, and it wouldn't budge. And in the meantime, the iron ore pieces, red hot pieces, were coming, flowing out of the gas opening, and they were coming and burning our faces. 2, 3, 4 times we did, it wouldn't move. Then finally we decided, let's go together and push it back, and then let's hope that it comes out. Incidentally, it came out. But by that time we had burnt our faces, our hands and everything, and our clothes, everything. But anyway, our lives were spared, so we came down. And so what I was trying to tell you, that adversity quotient is very important for not only sustenance but also success. So however good you may be having EQ and IQ, AQ is a must. AQ should be very strong, good. So this is the example I am giving. A high AQ worker tries to learn from the mistakes and believes the next project will be better. Now there are 3 types of AQ people, adversity quotient, people with good adversity quotient who handle situations differently. number one are climbers. They are like, you know, you have got people who are climbing the mountains, Everest, let's say. Whatever comes their way, however difficult the circumstances or situations, they will not quit. They will continue climbing. So we are relating climbers with such people. They are self-motivated, embrace challenges, and they are self-driven. So such people are known as climbers. They are all people with high AQ. Second level of people are campers. They relax on the way, start well, take it easy on the way. There are people who will continue ascending, but there maybe you might have seen in the movies, some people would always be sitting and it difficult to push them and or drag them up. So there are campers. These guys are campers. And third type of guys are quitters. They quit because the going is tough. And every single opportunity when they find that it is very difficult, that situation they come across, they will try to quit. So such people are quitters. So we have to also find what kind of people are quitters and campers and climbers. See, there are tests which give you their scores, and you can identify who are not so good, who are moderately good, and who are highly good. So when you employ such people for any adversity kind of scenario or situation, the jobs where adversity is high, you have to find out their scores. Now here, as you can see, low AQ is 0 to 59. Low levels of motivation, energy, performance, and persistence. Tendencies to catastrophize events. Moderate AQ is 95 to 134. Underutilization of potential, problems take a significant and unnecessary toll, making climbing difficult. And high AQ 166 to 200 maintains appropriate perspective on events and responses to them, able to continue forward with upward progress despite significant adversity. So leaders, I'm relating such people with leaders. In any kind of scenario, if you find leaders, they will always deliver. Unless they deliver, they are not leaders at all. So leaders are always having very high AQ, and they ought to have a high AQ. Then only they can become leaders. Now here, I just showed you some ratings of different EQ, IQ, AQ, and CQ. This person has got low AQ, as you can see. Here the nomenclature of percent is slightly different. That was numbers, and here it is percentages. So percentage 32.19 is quite good. But you see adversity quotient 15.87 is almost less than half. So this is no good. So this kind of person is no good, not at all suitable or fit for any situation, for any industrial situation where any kind of adversity the guy could come across. So now here I would like to go. How many people are there now? Hello?
27 people including you, sir.
Yes.
Hello?
27
Yes.
people including you.
How many of you are there?
27 including
26.
Okay. I want to do a small activity. Is it fine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
One activity, I've got two activities. One relates to intelligence, IQ. So I'll just ask you some questions, and you guys have to reply to those questions.
शाम को इतने कोई शाम की इतनी जल्दी चाय बन रही है रोज पानी भी तुम बताते हो तुमने तो नहीं गई हमें चाय पी ले ऊपर कर दे इसको ऊपर। क्या हुआ?
बस
अरे इसको ऊपर कर दे।
अरे वो तो ठीक है मतलब नीचे
नहीं
धीरे
वैसे
धीरे
नहीं है।
Can I shoot?
Yeah.
Can I
मैं तो
start?
कह रहा हूँ ना
हाँ समझ गया। कैन अटक जा अपने पानी में।
Now here,
Is
these questions relate to,
There's some disturbance. We will be not be able to
yeah,
answer.
somebody
Who's,
not from my
uh,
side, not from my end.
can you mute yourself? Who's this?
क्या कह रहे हो?
अभी आया और
Deepak, is that you? Can you mute yourself, Deepak?
It is coming.
Mr. Bridge, you can mute everyone, and then after that, whoever wants to speak can unmute.
No, I couldn't get you.
It's okay, he has muted.
Can I start the questions?
Yes.
Now here, I just want to tell you that these questions may appear to be a little silly, but don't worry about those aspects. Like I'm going to ask you questions where you have to put a large animal into a fridge. But don't worry, the fridge is equally big. The fridge is very big. So my first question is, how do you put a giraffe into a refrigerator? We have to find out the solution. How do you put the giraffe? So I would wait for an answer.
So you open the fridge, put him inside, and then close the fridge.
Okay. This is one answer. Anybody else?
Just by opening the door itself.
Beg your pardon? Come again.
Just by opening the door itself.
Just by opening the door, you put the giraffe into
Giraffe
the fridge and close the door.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. This answer is good because this talks about the question tests whether you tend to do simple things simple in a simple manner or a complicated way. Now, second question is, how do you put an elephant into a refrigerator?
Remove the giraffe and put the elephant inside.
Come again.
You remove the giraffe
The giraffe
and put the elephant inside.
You remove the giraffe.
And put the elephant inside.
No, step by step.
Remove the
You
giraffe
open the
first.
door, you remove
Yeah.
the giraffe. Okay, you bring in the elephant, open the door again, keep the door open, let the elephant go inside
Yeah,
and close the fridge.
that's good. I'm sitting here with very intelligent guys, every one of you.
Experienced.
So this is the answer is correct. This tests your ability to think through the repercussions of your actions, right? Now, third question. The Lion King is hosting an animal conference. All the animals attend except one. Which animal does not attend?
Elephant.
Beg your pardon?
Elephant.
Elephant.
Because he's in the fridge.
Elephant, yes, very correct. And then lastly, there is a river you must cross, but it is inhabited by crocodiles. How do you manage it? Hello? Hello?
You walk over the crocodile
Walk over the crocodile.
on the backs.
Anybody else?
All animals are in party, so there would be no crocodile in the river.
Very good, very good. Can I know your name?
Pooja.
Pooja, you have really answered correctly. And because all the animals are participating in the conference, so there is no crocodile in the river. So you can comfortably cross the river. Now I've got another second activity, which is, this was for intelligence and in IQ, but the other one is comparison between IQ and EQ. So we have to see which guys are having good EQ and which guys are having good IQ. Give me a second.
I think I'm average in all cues.
Now my questions will start. I will give you the background first. Out of you, 27 persons, those who are more reserved move to left. You have to put yourself on the left hand side in your mind, because you can't move yourself because of lockdown, but online. So more reserved, you move to the left, and more outgoing, you move to the right. Are you able to do that in your mind?
Yeah.
Done, sir.
Done? Good. Now I am targeting the more outgoing group. The more outgoing group move to front of the room. If you describe yourself as someone, there are some parameters. If some of these parameters fit into your kind of personality, then you move to the front of the room.